How are we doing, everybody? UFC Thoughts here, and today I'm going to be recapping UFC Louisville. I was there in attendance. I don't know if you guys know that, if you guys watch my past videos. I didn't record anything, so no, there's not going to be a vlog, but let's get right into it with the main event. Everyone's talking about the main event. Jared Cannonier, Nasruddin Imavov. Of course, the stoppage is what a lot of people are talking about, and I can't agree more, man. That was one of the earliest stoppages I've seen in a while, and I have no idea how people are trying to even sort of justify that stoppage. Oh, it was fair. No, it wasn't. Jared did not go down once. In fact, Jared in the finishing sequence landed a bomb of a right hand on Nasruddin Imavov. Just like a second before the fight he's throwing back. So this wasn't like an Israel versus Alex Pereira where Israel's just like shelling, where Jared was just like shelling up and taking punishment. He was throwing punches back. But Nasruddin did land a fucking bomb of a right hand on Jared and rocked him bad. That's a rough one to come back from. But Jared was. I had the scorecard. My scorecard personally was 2-1 to Jared Cannonier. It was a close fight. Jared was going for more of a clinch approach. Jab, 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 go in, clinch, take like 30 seconds off the clock. Nasruddin really couldn't do much in the clinch. He was kind of getting bullied at certain points. Wasn't really able to frame off. Nasruddin was landing a lot of decent punches. I always forget how fast he is for a middleweight. He is one of the quickest strikers on the roster. But Jared in this fight also, it seemed like he was starting to slow down. Nasruddin was starting to pick his shots better. Nasruddin, of course, was slowing down. That's kind of his thing, is that he slows down a little bit. But Jared especially was slowing down. The fight was very close going into the fourth round. Nasruddin found his shot. The stoppage was hella early, but we have new blood in that top 5 division. Now, was it rightfully so? Not really. I honestly don't mind them running it back at Paris, because there's no way Nasruddin thinks he's actually going to get that Sean Strickland fight. There's no way he does. So, yeah, I think the stoppage was bad. I think Nasruddin, if I'm being honest, would have won anyways. If I'm being honest, Jared, for some reason in this fight, maybe it's because he's 40 years old, coming off an ACL injury. I don't know why. It just says blatant reasons why. He was slowing down way more in this fight than his past performances. He got lazy with the shot that he threw that ended up with him getting caught. And Nasruddin was picking his shots better. I don't think the outcome changed, but I think that it would have been taken to a decision instead of that stoppage. I obviously picked Nasruddin Imavov to win. By the way, on my pick sheet that I uploaded to my Instagram and Twitter, I accidentally circled Jared Cannonier. I picked Nasruddin, okay? I got one main event. I have 2 main events correct in a row. This is unheard of information. I haven't done this in a while. But I'm starting to get on that streak again. I have two teners in a row. 10-2 on 302, 10-4 on UFC Louisville. I got every female fight wrong, though, which kind of sucks. I'm kind of sexist a little bit, not really, but yeah, that was honestly the worst Jason Herzog mistake I've seen in my life. I honestly don't think the outcome changes, though. I think Nasruddin was starting to catch his way into Jared striking. Jared was starting to get a little lazy. Jared still looked good, though. And to hear that he had so much happening to him going into this fight, how his wife had a miscarriage, how he had a bunch of stuff happen to him, it honestly breaks my heart for him. And I honestly hope they rebook this fight for Paris as a co-main event of such, because Jared deserves that. He got that totally robbed from him in this fight. He was looking good, but besides like the gas tank. But he was being a little bit of a boring guy, clinching a lot, Jared. Let's cool it down, Killa. But yeah, Nasruddin won. Good for him. People are trying to take away this performance from Nasruddin, which I just think is blatantly bullshit. Jared was slowing down, and I think a lot of people being like, oh, well, this is Nasruddin's, he slows down a lot. Jared was slowing down too, excessively so. I personally think I think Jared looked fresher, but Jared was slowing down to the point where Nasruddin's speed was still trumping his, so I still think Nasruddin wins the fight, but Jared did look good in the first 3 rounds. Let's fucking go! Yes, baby. Dominic fucking Reyes won, dude. I am so happy for Dom. I lost my voice just from this fight from cheering so loud. Dominic, listen, everyone was picking Dustin Jacoby. I believed in my boy. I know it didn't sound like it in my picks and breakdown video. I knew he was going to win. I knew it from the get-go. This was a perfect fight for him. Dustin Jacoby might be a more compound striker. His chin's just as bad, if I'm being honest. Dominic looked good. That is what we need. He looked good. Book him and Anthony Lionheart Smith at the Sphere. I honestly think that fight would be awesome. Dominic looked like himself, man. And it's so fucking good to see. It sucks for Dustin, because a lot of people were picking him to win. He was the betting favorite, dude. Dom clipped him, man. Straight left hand. Dude, that finishing sequence was so... I don't know how Dustin ate that knee, if I'm being honest. That was insane that he was even able to get up from the knee. But, man, Dominic... The thing is, Dustin was pushing a pace, too. Dominic just clipped him, man. And it sucks for Dustin, because a lot of people were seeing him as the guy that was going to end Dominic Reyes. I knew he wasn't going to be the guy to do it. He's not good enough. He doesn't have an insane chin. That's the thing. Actually, Ryan Span's chin is dog shit, too, now that I think about it. But that's besides the point. Dustin Jacoby was way too slow for Dominic. That's kind of what it was, is that he's too slow. Too slow of a striker. Too open coming in. Like, man, Dustin, his fucking right hand wasn't even close to his face when he got hit with that left hand. But yeah, man, Dominic won. Great to see him win. He's back. He's back, baby. It felt so good to see him fucking win in person. I am so glad I got to see that shit, dude. He seemed so... It wasn't even like he was relieved, is the word I'd use. Relieved that he won. Man, you love to see it. Love to see Dom win. Again, him, Anthony Smith, you could throw that on any fucking pay-per-view you want, and people will watch it, because Dominic Reyes is fucking back, baby. We move to Raul Rosas Jr. versus Ricky Turcios. We have learned something about Raul Rosas Jr., ladies and gentlemen. He is unchokeable. We have learned his big... Listen, and I'm not joking, his chin, legit, you can't get under it. It protrudes out, but he literally just opened his mouth, like, and Ricky couldn't get under his neck. It was the weirdest shit ever. Raul looked good. I scored the first round to Ricky. I thought he did more damage with the positions he was in. He also had the back of Raul at one point. Raul looks good, though. Looks strong. Looks strong for a 19-year-old, man. His wrestling takedown entries were pretty good. Ricky just... It looked like he was out of place at times, and honestly, I was happy to see him lose because he was he was a bitch. Fuck you. Throws like 3 kicks to start. Who the fuck do you think you are doing that to it? You got submitted by a 19-year-old after doing that? Nah, dude, you're cooked, brother. How do I tell you? You're cooked. Raul, again, like I said, he looked good. On the feet, still looked a little bit amateurish. You could tell that that's not his strong suit. He went for takedown entries pretty quick. He wasn't on the feet for that long. But when Raul got to his good positions, man, Ricky wasn't defending smart. He wasn't 2-on-1. He was mostly 1-on-1, trying to trap the hands. And Raul found his chin, and then he sunk it in tighter. Ricky kind of lost himself this fight, if I'm being honest. He was being a little bit dumb in this one. Raul wins. Good to see him win. I don't think he deserves top 15 yet. If I'm being honest, I think we should give him another guy. Honestly, I don't mind you booking him and Taylor Lapilus in Paris. Why not? Raul's been able to fight in home territory for both times. I mean, Louisville isn't home territory, but it sounded like home territory when I was there. Everyone was cheering him on. Him in Paris versus Taylor Lapilus, I think that'd be a very fun fight, if I'm being honest. Because, listen, Raul, besides the Christian Rodriguez fight, which is, like, not even that bad of a loss now, because it seems like everyone's losing to fucking Christian Rodriguez. And I think Christian Rodriguez, I don't know if you guys saw who he's fighting next. I forget who it is, but I think he's going to win that one. So, Fuck Christian Rodriguez. But anyways, his only loss is to Christian Rodriguez. He's beat everyone else. Now, are they cans? Kind of. Jay Perrin and Terrence Mitchell are both certified bums. Ricky Tercios is a tricky guy, though. Tricky Ricky is what they call him. That's not what they call him. But he's a tricky guy to like, beat up. And Raul kind of beat him up. So, good win for Raul Rosas Jr. We move to Bruno Ferreira knocking out Dustin Stoltzfus. Holy shit, what a KO. Honestly, I love the stoppage. Dustin was lost on his feet when he got up. It was, the only reason it looks like a bad stoppage is because Dustin gets up so fast, he sets down and then he gets right back up, but you could tell he was out on his feet. He had no idea where the fuck he was. Insane fight. Dustin landed a lot of shots, a lot more shots than I thought he was going to land. If I'm being honest, I thought Bruno Ferreira kind of looked bad. Not bad, but he looked very open on the feet, which that's not something I like from prospects that I'm looking out for. But Bruno got another first round KO. That's all you can ask for, man, from a guy who's fighting Dustin Stoltzfus, who does have a chin of porcelain. So, insane fight. The finishing sequence in itself, starting with a spinning elbow, and then ending with a spinning elbow, which was one of the most vicious spinning elbows I've seen in a fucking while, may I add. Holy shit, you rarely see them. But, man, did this one land flush, dude. His whole elbow rode like the side of Dustin's face. And honestly, very entertaining fight. They both kind of look sloppy. I mean, it is middleweight, unranked at least. So, very fun fight though. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it. Bruno got an insane highlight reel. Dustin Stoltzfus, I don't know if you cut him after this because that was very entertaining. Dustin, he is an entertaining guy. He does put on entertaining because his chin is so bad, but he's also kind of a dog. Kind of a dog. He is a little bit. I'll give him that credit. I think you keep him around for one more fight. If he gets knocked out again, I think you have to cut him. But keep him around for one more fight. See what he does. Give him to another up-and-coming contender. See if he loses to them. And I think that's where we'll figure it out. Bruno called out Bo Nickel. I honestly don't mind that fight. Bo Nickel versus a very hard puncher, I think, is something that we need to see. A guy who has all his wins by knockout. I think that would be cool to see. So, yeah, I think you book that fight. I don't think Bo Nickel deserves top 15 yet. He beat Bo Nickel. Congratulations. Join the club, dude. We move to Zachary Reese KOing Julian Marquez in 19 seconds. Not really much to say about this fight. Julian looked tentative on the feet. Didn't really throw much. Zach Reese landed, every shot that he landed sounded good. Landed flush. Landed a really good body kick like a second before the KO. Threw a right uppercut. Julian Marquez went down. I think you have to cut Julian Marquez from the UFC after this one because it's too much damage. It's too much. 3 KO losses in a row from Gregory. And the thing is, in the last two, RoboCop and Marc-Andre Barrios, he took so much damage. This one just showed how much damage really got done to Julian Marquez. He got out in one punch. Like, it was legit one shot set him off, and that's not good at all. So, people are saying that it was a little bit of an early stoppage. I don't think so. I think that's a great stoppage. Zach Reese, he was landing some brutal ground and pound too. So, if that uppercut is, the fight's over, dude. No fucking way. So, Zach Reese gets in the win column after the slam KO. Shows it was a fluke. Honestly, he didn't take any damage. I want to see him fight soon. Because, man, that was entertaining to watch after that, what we're about to get into. We move to the opening of the main card. Ponheli Soriano defeats Miguel Baeza. This was just sad to watch. Miguel couldn't defend takedowns to save his life. Ponheli Soriano looked really good wrestling-wise. He was dominating the fuck out of Miguel Baeza, landing a lot of ground and pound. I think he outstruck him like almost 300 to like 20. I think is what the stats were. That's absurd. Okay, that's actually fucking insane. Ponheli looked really good. Can't wait to see him thrive in this welterweight division. He's big enough now to wrestle, actually. Miguel literally couldn't do anything. The first round, his IQ looked dog shit. Went for a lot of like leg locks, arm bars. In the second and third round, he legit did nothing. He legit did fucking fuck all. Punahele dominated him, dominant performance. Great win from Punahele, something he needed after that Dustin Stoltz-Foos loss. Good to see him win at 170. Can't wait to see what he does in this division. We move to the featured prelim. Ludovit Klein beat Thiago Moises. Honestly, just very dominant performance, man. Ludovit looked really good on the feet. Dropped Thiago twice. One with a body shot in the first round. The body shot was in the third round. The first round was when he clipped him with a, I want to say it was like a left straight, like right through the guard, and fucking Thiago airplaned into the torpedoed into the canvas. Thiago couldn't get anything going, couldn't get a takedown. Ludovit looked really good takedown defense-wise. Ludovit's looking really good, man. Picking up a lot of steam recently. Moved down away, or not moved down, but he just looks really good. Looks really fucking good, man. And can't say nothing else about it. Just a really great performance overall. Dominated Thiago Moises. Thiago really couldn't land anything of significant. Ludovit shows that the new gloves, you can get cool stuff with them. I think this was like the first guy that we saw that with. So, yeah. We move to Carlos Prates TKOing Charles Radtke with a body knee. Ooh! This one hurt to watch, man. The way he set it up, beautiful. Just hand fighting, grabbing the lead hand of Charles Radtke. Charles Radtke got bitched a little bit. And it was very ironic to see it happen in Pride Month. Anyone else get the joke? No? All right. Charles Radtke, he was landing some decent shots on Carlos Prates. Carlos Prates has a good chin on him. Carlos was just walking him down the whole time, man. Walking him down. The finishing sequence, he's literally grabbing the lead hand of Charles, lands a straight left, and he yells at him. He's like, woo! And then he lands a vicious left knee to the body, shatters the liver of Charles, drops down to the ground, crying for his mother. Yeah, it sucks to see Charles Radtke lose, but it also kind of felt awesome to see him lose because it was such a cool finishing sequence. Carlos Prates is the fucking real deal, man. I've been saying this about him for a while now. Ever since that Trevin Giles performance, he is fucking good, man. Really good fighter. I think this guy's going to go pretty far, man. Especially since he's a Giga Chad who smokes cigarettes. That just shows that he doesn't give a shit, and that I like that a lot. He can get away with a lot of stuff. So, yeah, Carlos Prates got a really cool TKO, got a performance bonus, smoked cigarettes. He is the next guy up at 170. I think he's going to do a lot of damage to a lot of unranked guys. I don't know how far he goes in the rankings, but I think we're going to see this guy get a ranked opponent maybe in his next fight, maybe fight after that. We move to Brad Katona dominating Jesse Butler. Not a lot to say about this fight either. Kind of boring. Brad Katona kind of just beat the shit out of Jesse Butler. Jesse Butler's best moments were definitely in the third round. Brad Katona has a good chin on him, though. And like I said, Jesse Butler doesn't know how to use his range. He always wants to fight in the pocket for some reason, even though he has an 8.5-inch reach advantage because he's dumb as shit. A lot of people, picked Jesse Butler to win this. The fuck are you guys doing? Lock in, okay? Lock the fuck in, okay? Who picked him to win? It was like Guru and Lucas what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? Come on. You really thought he was going to beat Brad Katona? What? To be fair, Brad Katona didn't look all that great either, but he dominated Jesse Butler pretty easily. Jesse Butler legit just didn't try and get up. Just didn't even attempt it, dude. Didn't even try and get close to the octagon. Brad Katona was doing well on the ground, doing enough to where he didn't get stood up. Yeah, Jesse Butler fucking sucks, man. That's all I got. That's my main takeaway from this fight. We move to Montana De La Rosa beating Andrea Lee by unanimous, or was it split? I don't fucking remember. I think all female fights were splits. That's beside the point. Andrea won the first round. Montana won the third. The second round, if I'm being honest, I wasn't watching. I legit stopped paying attention there. I was messaging some of my friends. But from the replays, it looked like Montana just was landing the better shots in the round, which I should have expected because it happens in every Andrea Lee fight where she does extremely well in the first and fades as the fight goes on in the second and third round. So Montana won. From the replays, it looked like she just landed the better shots. Andrea looked decent in the first, man. She knocked down Montana De La Rosa with a spinning back fist. Montana had her moments with, like, the arm triangle or whatever. But I don't know. It's WMMA at its finest. Pretty close fight. Montana won, though. So, good for her. Andrea Lee, I don't know where you go from this. You're like 5-8 in the UFC, lady. I think it's time to wrap it up. We move to Daniel Marcos beating John Castaneda by unanimous decision. Very cool fight. Daniel Marcos and John Castaneda kind of just went tit for tat for a lot of the time. Daniel Marcos, you could tell, had a clear power advantage, stalking down John Castaneda, knocked him down. I think they only credited him for one, which was in the third round. The first round, he did drop him, but I don't think they counted it as a knockdown because he landed. It was like a flash knockdown type of thing, kind of off balance. But yeah, man, Daniel Marcos, for almost the entire fight, was dominating until like the last 30 seconds, where John rocked him with a head kick. He leaned right into it. I'm surprised he was able to eat it because it went like right off the fucking forehead. And he kind of got wobbly-legged. He survived. Very cool fight. Very fun exchanges. John Castaneda loses again, kind of just because he's too slow. Not quick twitch enough for a guy like Daniel Marcos. Daniel Marcos moves. He is still undefeated. This fight showed a lot to me. I think he is better than a lot of people think he is. I think a lot of people think that he's less of what he actually is. And I think a lot of people are doubting him because of the Davey Grant performance. I honestly like Daniel Marcos, and I like this fight for him. Show that he can be a dog and be in a dog fight like this yet again, and show that he can come out on top indefinitely. We move to Denise Gomes beating Eduardo Moira by split decision somehow. Denise Gomes obviously won this fight. I honestly think she won every round of this fight. 30-27. I don't really see a round where you can give it to Eduardo Moira. Denise did more throughout the entire fight. Eduardo slowed down significantly. I'm surprised that it took her this long to lose a fight. Denise Gomes just looked good. And this is going to give me false hope for Denise Gomes for her to lose her next fight to like fucking Luana Pinheiro. So, yeah. Eduardo Moira, she looked shitty in this fight. Her stand-up looked slow and pathetic. Her grappling looked slow and pathetic. Her takedown entries were way out. Excuse me. Denise Gomes defended the takedowns pretty well. She went for a couple submissions herself. Eduardo was able to get takedowns, but she did absolutely fuck all with them. So, yeah. Cool. 10-0 female prospect. Woo! Right down into the shitter. Let's go. We move to Taylor Lapilus beating Cody Stamann by unanimous decision. Just another case of Cody Stamann not being able to implement his wrestling as well as he would like and kind of just losing off damage on the feet. Taylor Lapilus looked pretty good. He was landing good shots, landing good ones and twos. Cody kind of limited on the feet. He obviously looked like a wrestler. Like I said in my picks and breakdown, you can tell it's a wrestler who's throwing punches. Couldn't really find anything throughout the fight. I think he finally got his first takedown in the third round with a big old pickup and slam. But he didn't really do much with it anyways. Taylor Lapilus kind of looked like a step ahead every single second of this fight. Sucks to see the Michigan man lose, but it is what it is. I just think that Taylor Lapilus was too much for Cody Stamann. Yet another loss for the Spartan. I don't know what's next for him after this. Yeah, he kind of just looked a little slower than Taylor. Taylor didn't even really look that great himself, if I'm being honest. But he just did a little bit more than Cody Stamann. So that's kind of like the story of the fight. We move to Pooja Tomar versus Ryan Dos Santos, or Ryan Dos Santos. Pooja won somehow. I honestly thought that she lost 2-1. If I'm being honest, you could argue 3-1 or 3-0. Very close fight. Actually, no, 2-1, because I think I gave Pooja round 2. Round 3 and 1, I thought she did that. High-end did more damage than Pooja. Pooja looked decent. Her sidekick to the body was cool, I guess. Her actual punches, though, kind of looked dreadful. Pooja, I mean, Jesus, she looks fucking terrifying. Oh, my God. She looks like oh, Jesus. That's a I'm so sorry I showed you guys this. This is terrifying to look at. High-end, I think she got robbed. I think she got robbed 2 times in a row, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Pooja, you're the first Indian person to actually, and Shul won on the Road to UFC finale on that Spivak versus Lewis card. So like, unless you don't count that, then she's the first Indian person to win a fight in the UFC. So, cool for you, Pooja. You had to do it by a robbery decision. We love you. You're so fucking Jesus. I'm UFC Thoughts. This is my recap of UFC Louisville. Pretty fun card. The prelims were a little bit worrying at times. The main card was, holy shit, what a fun main card this was. A lot of finishes on the main card. 5 of 6 were finishes, even though the main event had a really early stoppage. Cool event. We are back in the Apex for this week with Alex Perez versus Tetsuro Taira. I'm actually working on my fighter notes for this fight. You know what? I'll actually show you guys. This is what I'm working with right now. We got the, sorry for the spoilers of what the slides look like. We got Tetsuro Perez versus Taira. We got the picks. These are what I'm at the Carly Judas Gabriela Fernandez fight. I got Tapology pulled up. This is what I'm working with now. So, yeah, I'm working on the stuff right now. So, yeah, that video will probably be up come Friday, usually when I upload my picks and breakdown. Yeah, so I'll see you guys for those fights. Peace.